Welcome to The Five. In this podcast, we have open and lively conversations, everything from movies, science, politics, and culture. We're open conversations about the mundane, the everyday life, perplexing topics, and laugh out loud moments with the bestest people around. We hope you stick around and enjoy the company of The Five. Welcome back, everyone, for another episode. I'm Josue.
I'm Moy, and we are The Five. The rest of the crew will chime in throughout the episode.
So today, we'll be covering our review of The Rise of Skywalker, Episode 9.
Oh, man.
And our thoughts. And I think we have a lot to say.
We have a whole crap of load to say. But personally, to me, I mean, they...
Kick us off, Moy.
Like how I was saying when we exited the theater, first of all, throughout the whole film, I was just like... I was in shock and awe, not in being amazed, but just confused the hell out of it. I would think.
I felt like it was just so much information.
It originally was going to be about what, 3.5 to 4 hours long or so, and then they had to cut it down to 2 hours or 2 hours and 45 minutes or so. That's a lot of information that they had to take out.
Yeah,
I mean, for me, I felt like it was. It's obvious that it was rushed. A lot of things had to be trimmed down and like straight to the point. But even so, I mean, there was a lot of things that made you kind of it just struck me. It just struck me in confusion completely. I don't know. What do you think?
You like how Pita and Becky say, "I'm confusion."
I'm in confusion.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, dude. Like, everyone was saying for the last 2 years, oh, we need to wait. We need to judge. We can't judge this trilogy just by the backlash of The Last Jedi or from the nostalgic feels of The Force Awakens. We need to wait. Well, that time has come and gone, and God, man, this trilogy is just feels so disjointed.
It does, man. It feels so. It feels so unconnected. You know what I mean? Like compared to the original trilogy and the prequels. I mean, first of all, the original Star Wars is A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. That's it. The prequels have not really much to do other than to explain how Darth Vader came by. The Force Awakens as the sequels and The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker is just a completely, according to them, it's a quote-unquote continuation of, the Skywalker saga. But
it feels, I mean, at this point, we already know this Disney trilogy. I don't even want to call it the sequel trilogy anymore. It's just the Disney trilogy.
Exactly, the Disney trilogy.
This Disney trilogy, we can finally say that it was just a soft reboot of the original trilogy. But from a business perspective, the way they saw it, they said, okay, the last movies of Star Wars that came out, which were the prequels, episodes 1, 2, and 3, they're like, people didn't like that. And yeah, there's some truth in that when they first came in, but the generation of fans that grew up with the prequels, which is my generation, people my age and people your age, we're all grown up, and we didn't grow up knowing, oh my God, look at that dialogue, it's so clunky, and look at the acting, it's so wooden, and the lines are so cringe. No, we just saw it for what it was, and that was the reason why we fell in love with Star Wars even more.
Mm-hmm.
But like with this one, there was no overarching vision. There was no like goal. Like, and once the whole Emperor tease came back, it's like these guys pulled out Emperor Palpatine straight out of their ass. Like you can tell, like Emperor, the Return of the Emperor was not their main goal.
It wasn't needed.
It wasn't needed because that wasn't their goal. Their goal, you can tell, for J.J. Abrams, what he set up was it was going to be Snoke and Kylo Ren,
and there was going to be
there was something that was going to be there. Mm-hmm. But Rian Johnson came in and killed off Snoke, and then wanted to elevate Kylo. But then that made you feel like, okay, what the freak? What are we going to do with Kylo?
And not even that, but when they said that in the Rise of Skywalker, when they named him Supreme Leader, I'm like, it doesn't even feel like he's a Supreme Leader, you know? compared to Snoke, I mean, even though we were first introduced to him in The Force Awakens, I mean, you can see the intimidation there as far as being a supreme leader of the First Order, you know. Yeah. But then when Kylo Ren, all of a sudden, Supreme Leader Supreme Leader Ren or something like that, it just felt like it was just. Like he just filled the spot. He just shot himself into the position. Oh hey, I'm the supreme leader. Hey, I'm gonna be the one in charge now. And not only that, but I mean, just like I mentioned before, the bringing back the Emperor was not even needed at all. There was no point to him. Because for him being the most powerful Sith of all time, to be washed away with a simple reflect of the lightning
for the third freaking time. First he did it with Darth Vader when he was zapping Luke, and then he did it again with Mace Windu, and then now again with freaking Rey. Like, did this dude not learn to stop shooting Force lightning?
Oh man,
I heard someone say like maybe Force lightning is when guys go piss. Like once you start, you just can't stop. And you just are like, I'm sorry, I must continue.
This is the only thing that I can do. You pull the last straw.
But I'll say this: I really did enjoy Ian McDiarmid's performance.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he his role as the Emperor is completely born. Has merged with him, you know. He does a perfect job. You know, he that's what he was born to be. But I think that the way they executed him, like as far as bringing him back and, you know, making him the sole purpose of the film was not executed right.
Not only that, but honestly, it truly feels like it undoes Anakin's redemption arc at the end of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, you can say so. Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that because, I mean,
at the end of the day, Anakin Skywalker is the chosen one.
He is the chosen one. He is, yeah. He just got tempted by the dark side, and that was his role since the day he was born. You know, that's what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, he was a chosen one. He fell into darkness. That wasn't supposed to happen. But at the end of the day, he had his son Luke Skywalker and his daughter Leia, and they're the ones that. And Luke is the one that helped him redeem himself.
Mm-hmm. And he did it. He did it, and Return of the Jedi, and that was it. And
how do you feel that
he and Anakin? I would say he found his peace within himself when he was finally redeemed by Luke Skywalker. Don't you think?
Yeah. No, definitely. He fulfilled his character arc and the prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
But now with Rey, dude. No, I said, how do you think they did it with Kylo Ren and Ben Solo?
I gotta admit, I did
stuff that you like and didn't like.
Okay, what I liked about him. Okay, at the beginning, let's starting from the beginning of the Rise of Skywalker. It looked like he was just looking for a way to kill off the main villain, so to speak. Yeah. And then throughout the film, he's constantly battling with Ben Solo and Kylo Ren. You know what I mean? And the moment that I feel like was when Harrison Ford, what's his name? Han Solo came back. In his figment of imagination, you know, his subconscious.
The way that I saw it, it was like a memory, like that was like the last memory of Ben Solo trying to get through.
Yeah, pretty much, and he managed to bridge that gap between Ben and Kylo, and actually, I mean, the film is about redeeming oneself, and he actually did, but I felt it could have been a lot earlier in the film, you can say.
Man, it feels so
then
fast.
You could have exactly. It felt so fast, and then for it having to occur at the last minute, felt like it was just not enough time for
rushed.
us to finally see. Yeah, felt rushed, and for us to not even see a glimpse of who Ben Solo is. You know,
it didn't.
Once he's redeemed,
I feel like the film didn't let us savor the moment of like, oh, okay, he's actually still conflicted, and he's finally choosing to turn.
Yeah,
with the help
he's
of
gonna be
Leia and the memory of his father.
Yeah, and he's finally going to be Ben Solo, you know. Instead, he's just, help me because I can't do it alone or something like that. And then Han Solo touches his face, and then he's like, oh, and then he throws the lightsaber away. And then the next scene, he's already heading over to kill Palpatine. Like, what the hell?
And that scene between him and Han Solo, I actually really like that scene.
It was very touching.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Compare it to the scene in The Force Awakens, where when Han Solo dies. I mean, even that scene felt rushed too. I don't know. It played its role. It did well, but I felt like it could have been done earlier in the film.
Yeah, it's just the film didn't take its time. It truly
it just felt rushed. I think you mentioned it as well, like how in every scene, like there was a battle or something, and everyone dies, and then you just have to keep going.
Yeah, like now we go here. Okay, now
there's no sympathy.
Yeah, now we have to go here. Okay, now you got it. Okay, now let's go. Next scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know how Star Wars always has those iconic transitions.
Yeah,
to be honest, dude, I don't even know if I realized if there was transitions or not. Like,
I think there was.
Like, can you actually go back in your memory and say, okay, I remember a vivid transition of like the diagonal, the up and down, the down and up, side to side? I don't remember any of it. I just remember scene after scene after scene after scene.
That's what I remember too. But I did see a couple of the transitions that they had. You know, the famous, wipe and slide and all that stuff. But then it came to a moment where it was just like, fuck it, we're just gonna go. Next thing, skip.
Straight up light speed skipping through the scenes.
Fast forward this bitch.
And that's another thing, bringing that up. The whole light speed skipping.
Yeah.
Like, what are the chances? Like, dude, they're out in the middle of space, in the middle of a huge galaxy. What are the odds that every time that they jump into light speed, that they hit a planet? Like, there is so much more empty space than to actual matter in the galaxy.
Than to actually land on a planet and be accurate as to where you're going. I felt that was stupid. I mean, it looked visually, it looked cool. I gotta tell you that visually, it looked pretty dope. But as far as the light speed, theories that they have, it's not accurate. Well, I mean, I know it's a science fiction film, but even that is not accurate.
I mean, for accuracy, it doesn't. To me, it doesn't really bother me. It just it kind of goes against what the rules that are already set up in A New Hope, like between Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. When he says, when Luke Skywalker tells him something of like, just why can't you just go into light speed? He's like, watch it, kid. You're gonna end up, somewhere, or we're gonna end up pulverized, something like that. Like,
yeah, because
you can't just randomly go somewhere. Like, we need to calculate to where we're going.
Exactly, because it's such a large amount of force that has to be dealt with, that eventually, if you keep on going so many times, that's just gonna mess up, your route. And not only that, but I mean, think about it. You'll be, like he said, you'll be pulverized. So what the hell? You'll end up dead by doing too many light speed jumps. What do you think about the way that they what was it, that fight scene between Kylo or in this case Ben Solo and the Knights of Ren?
I mean, it was good, I guess.
I think. What about the whole transporting the lightsaber to one person?
I don't know, man. I feel like the Force now has become like a superpower. Like there's no more nuance. There's no more like deep thought that goes into it. It's just like, oh shit, we can now we could do this.
I have a lightsaber now.
And believe me, I like the concept. I really do like the concept of being able to transfer matter, teleport matter from one place to another simultaneously. Like, I like that. And that's one thing that I really, truly appreciated from The Last Jedi, with the whole, like, the Force connection. I really did like that.
Between Rey and Kylo?
Yeah, those scenes are the only good scenes in the whole in that whole movie.
Yeah, you can see the dynamics between each other.
You see the relationship growing and like the tension building between them.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the emotion, you can see that between them. The way that they're communicating and how they can transpire through space and time, pretty much.
And also,
it was good.
I know a lot of people don't like the whole Force projecting that Luke does at the end on Crate. But I like that. I don't like what they did to Luke's character in The Last Jedi, but I mean, it's already done, and I can say that that's one thing that I did like.
I mean, technically, it shows how far the Force usage can become.
Yeah, what's
that's what it shows.
Possible.
Yeah, and what seemed impossible before is possible.
Yeah. Yeah, like
going beyond the limits of what we currently know as fans.
Yeah,
in the original Star Wars.
Yeah, of just being able to run fast or jump high or teleport. I mean, or like move objects with your hand or mind wipe people's memories. Like I like all that stuff. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it's breaking the rules." Yes, but the Force needs to kind of evolve as well.
Yeah, it's not just pushing people out the way.
The problem that I have is now is that we have, like, with the whole Rey and that teleporting thing and the Force healing, like, there's no precedent for that.
Yeah,
Rey in this freaking movie, she's like super overpowered. She's completely overpowered.
She's over here floating with rocks all over the place and Force healing and a whole bunch of stuff.
Not only that, but you can tell that they really try to hype up the whole. She has Palpatine bloodline, and she is a Force dyad. Those are two of the main things that they're pushing, so that you say, okay, she's not a Mary Sue. This is the Force working in her blood. Which at a point you'd be like, okay, fine, but at the same time you're like, no. Even if the Force is willing her into existence and her powers, like, you need to at least show that she's like becoming proficient in it.
Yeah, and that she's becoming what is it? She's being trained, or she's being trained or training in a way to awaken that ability within herself. You can't just from one day to another say, "Hey, I'm gonna bring this person back from the dead."
Yeah, and I know that we're told. I know that it's kind of insinuated that she's been training with Leia, but I feel like that's why, like, Episode 8. Now looking at it with Episode 9, like, Episode 8 was such a waste of time because it didn't show no character progression for Rey or for, like, Leia, and showing that she had the skills necessary to even train Leia, Like, you just look at Leia and she's just like an old general waiting to just kick rocks. No disrespect.
Waiting to kick the bucket. I failed at this. What the hell?
I mean, at the end of the day, she's a failure.
Pretty much. Don't disrespect the Carrie Fisher, but the character. Yeah, at the end of the day, she failed to keep up with to keep the peace between the rebels, or in this case the Alliance or the Resistance, with the First Order.
And I know that, like, her downfall again is explained in books and magazines, but we shouldn't have to read supplementary material to understand what's going on in the movies.
Exactly. I think that for me right there, and I think for a lot of people, That's what pisses me off.
It kills it because you're like, oh, I want to find out more.
Exactly.
Oh, well, you can read this book and read this visual dictionary, and I don't want to
read the comics. And I don't want to read the comics. Just fucking explain it into the movie.
I think that's why we enjoy
Isn't that what
the Mandalorian so much.
Because it's there. and it continues on from where it left off. It doesn't skip a whole year. Next thing you know, in season 2, freaking Baby Yoda's already a teenager.
Ew, like Baby Groot.
Hey Mando, I'm gonna heal you now.
Yeah, but yeah, this whole movie, I feel like at the end of the day, this whole movie was a mess.
It was. It felt rushed. There was a lot of blank. There was a lot of holes in it, and I felt like. Okay, to me, in my honest opinion, I'm not saying that I would agree with everyone. I mean, like I said when we came out of the theater, it had its moments, but I didn't like it at all. You know, I could say that for as a viewer, I was in the theater, and every time something Rey did, I was like, "How the hell is she doing that?"
Yeah, you're just eating your popcorn, like, "What?" I'm like, "I guess this is what we're doing now."
Exactly. I'm like, I was like, "How the hell?" I'm like, "Where the hell is she?" And I kept on looking back and forth to Tono. I was like, "Dude, how?" And Torito just looked at me. He was like, "Yeah, I don't know, man. Just watch the movie.
Just enjoy the fucking movie, damn it."
Like, and I even heard people from the back who freaking, "Oh my god, that is so awesome!" I'm like, "Dude, no, like, you're missing the whole point here." Like, they, like you said a couple moments ago, they overpowered Rey. I mean, yes, they are implying that that she is from the Palpatine bloodline, but I think it was Star Wars Theory who said in one of his episodes that even if you're a Palpatine or a descendant of Palpatine and you have that, you know, strong, the Force is strong pretty much within your bloodline.
Yeah.
You're still gonna have to get through training in order to find that. You know, whether it's lifting up a rock or you know, force projecting from some place to another. It's all this stuff. You know.
Yeah. Look at Anakin for frick's sake. He's a chosen one, and he still had to go through Jedi Academy and everything.
Exactly, and he still wasn't given the rank of master.
What? This is outrageous. It's unfair.
How can you be in the Jedi Council and not be granted the rank of master?
Take a seat. No. I feel like that's all Mace Windu had to say.
Take a seat, motherfucker.
I've been watching the Boondocks, and I just every single word that I want to say is freaking like from Uncle Ruckus and stuff.
Boondocks is actually kind of is hilarious, dude. I actually started watching once I got a Hulu.
Yeah, it's a really good show.
Freaking that episode with what's his name? I'm Chris Hansen.
I'm still in episode. I'm in season 1, so don't spoil it for me.
Oh, my bad. No, but you'll see it around. It's been spoofed by so many programs, dude. I think I've sent you a link to that before. Yeah, probably. Where they made it where they make a parody with Shrek.
Probably.
I am here looking for booty. See, I know who you are, Chris Hansen. But I call you Chris Hansen. I watch your TV show all the time.
Freaking Pops. Rest in peace, Pops.
Exactly. Freaking all of him is freaking on Friday.
Don't nobody go in there for 45 minutes.
That's what you hear.
Chris!
When he's in the bathroom.
Oh, Chris! Get your ass in here, boy.
Freaking Pops, dude. Man, rest in peace, yo.
You remember watching that as watching him in what's that, the Wayne Brothers on TV late night?
Yes.
As kids.
Yeah. Oh man, it's too hilarious. There.
Anyways, we're getting off topic.
Yeah, we're getting off topic. We gotta go back.
What was I gonna tell you? You know how do you remember that scene where Leia hugs Rey and she tells you, Rey, don't be afraid of who you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
and she starts shedding a tear.
Yes. Now, that is a huge plot hole because You ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
Luke, apparently, it's hinted that he also knew that she was a Palpatine.
I've heard that.
Okay,
yeah.
Now
I've heard that.
the problem is why in that this messes up completely what was proposed in The Last Jedi. That the reason why Luke became a hermit and became so secluded and cut himself off from the Force was because when he went into Ben's hut, he saw all the evil that he was going to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's pretty much his own blood, Ben Solo. So when he saw that vision in when he was looking at Ben Solo and when he was sleeping, right there he decided that he was never going to train another Jedi. And also, what's her name? Leia. When she was training with Luke, when she was younger, she stopped training because she said that her son would fall to the dark side, right? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
If that's the case, why the hell would she push for Rey to go train with Luke?
Exactly.
Why?
Do you not see the threat that Rey is?
That makes absolutely no sense. Okay, so Leia freaking figured out, okay, you know, my son is gonna do some great evil. He's gonna fall to the dark side if I don't stop. But this bitch already knew that freaking Rey was a Palpatine, and she wants Rey to go train to Luke. She sends Rey to Luke in the Force Awakens. What the hell?
It does not even make any sense. So
it literally whatever continuity there is from the Force Awakens to the Last Jedi to now, it's broken completely by the Rise of Skywalker.
Yep, it completely overdid. It overrode it.
It's like, okay, you guys knew this was gonna happen, but you still managed to train someone that came directly from Satan himself,
and even more powerful than anyone else.
Exactly. Like, no, that doesn't make sense.
And who's a potential threat to the actual galaxy? Like, what the hell?
And I honestly, dude, I was listening to like the last couple of days, I've been listening to the audio commentary on The Last Jedi. Yeah, so it's like Rian Johnson speaking over the movie, and I can't believe I'm gonna say this. I think I actually like The Last Jedi a little bit more.
Oh, what the hell? Nah, dude.
I don't like
what?
I don't like
the power of Christ compels you.
I don't like. I still don't like the characterization, the characterization that they did of Luke, but just the dynamic between Rey and Kylo. It just makes it a watchable film for me.
Okay, on that I do agree with you, because it showed the potential of where it could have gone.
Yeah,
you know, as far as Rey and in this case, Reylo. You know, the whole pairing of them.
No, not even shipping them together. No. But just the connection that they have. It doesn't have to be like a sexual tension or anything.
No, that's what I mean. Like their connection.
Force smash.
Hey, babe, you want to go in the asteroid field? I'll pop some rocks on you.
Really?
On Tatooine. No, but seriously, like that connection that they have with Kylo and Rey throughout the whole movie of The Last Jedi, yes, it does make perfect sense, you know, and you could have envisioned as to where it could have went, and what they could have done as far as, you know, complete opposites, you know,
like
I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, it does. Like The Last Jedi, completely on its own, without having to or wanting to connect it to like the previous movies. The Last Jedi by itself, I really like The Last Jedi by itself, but when you look at it as a continuation of episode a continuation of episode 7 and a movie that has 40 years of lore already built into it, it just doesn't work for me. Like, as a regular movie, I really like The Last Jedi. As a Star Wars film, it's garbage to me.
No, yeah, I think it's In this case, it's a standalone film.
Yeah, as a standalone film, I like it, but as episode 8, no, I don't like it.
It doesn't cut it. It didn't make the draft.
And you remember when how we were after The Last Jedi, that we said, oh, The Force Awakens, now we're like, dude, after The Rise of Skywalker, I'm like, you know what, I actually like the Force Awakens a lot more now.
Well, yeah. I think we had to give it time, to grow, because I think, even though The Force Awakens gave a lot of, unanswered questions. I mean, it's
mystery boxes.
Yeah, kind of a whole bunch of mystery boxes. It still felt like a good movie, by its. Just
by itself again.
Yeah, exactly. By itself, a film that just stands out from the complete saga. It's just a film on its own and a different storyline. It's a good movie. It's fun to watch. It has its ups and downs, but I can't even say that I've watched The Force Awakens by itself. Just from here on out. Like if it's just a regular film.
Yeah.
You don't even have to say, oh, it's a Star Wars film. It's just The Force Awakens. And then with The Last Jedi, yeah, I do agree with you. I just saw The Last Jedi last week, and without even having to, recap on the original trilogy or anything like that, it was just there. And again, it had its ups and downs, but as far as a continuing story, it doesn't work.
Yeah. Like, I don't know about you, but every time that I want to see, let's say that I have a feeling of wanting to watch one of the original trilogy movies, I just can't watch it by itself.
You have to keep watching.
Like if I say, you know what, I want to watch A New Hope, I'll watch A New Hope, and then like a couple of days later, I'll have to put Empire Strikes Back, and after that, like a couple of days later, Return of the Jedi, because then it feels like a whole picture.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing for the prequels. Like, I like starting from 1, 2, and 3, and finishing off with 3.
Yeah.
But with this one, I'm like you said, just watch it by himself, and that's it. It's just a good movie, not a good Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I feel it. I just watched A New Hope today.
Oh, did you?
When I was at work, I watched The New Hope, and then I was like, you know what?
On Disney Plus.
Tomorrow, I was like, you know what? Tomorrow I'm gonna watch Empire Strikes Back, and then I'm probably gonna watch Return of the Jedi the day after, and then go back to the prequels.
I know.
And then continue on like that. And it's cool because like you said, those two trilogies, because I'm not gonna say that they're complete sagas. That those two trilogies by themselves, on separate notes, the original and the prequels,
they complement each other.
Exactly. They complement each other and on telling the story of the past and of the future, so to speak, and and the whole build up, of that whole, the chosen one and the balance of the Force and everything like that. But just watching episodes 1, 2, 3, by just like that, you understand it.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, you understand it. Freaking 7, pause. 8, pause. 9, like what the fuck.
Even Rogue One, I would like to include it like in the prequels and the original trilogy.
Yeah, because it fits right in. Fits right in between.
Have you even watched Solo?
I've watched it once, and that was it. I didn't want to watch it anymore.
Did you get bored?
I hate it with a passion. I hate it, and then I got bored.
It's just a boring movie.
Yeah.
I tried so hard to watch it, and I'm like, this is garbage. Not garbage.
All I know is
it's not garbage. I'm just so bored.
Like they said, it's a movie no one asked for.
Yeah, no, it's true.
and Kenobi, the series, that's something that everyone's been asking for, and they don't want to even give it to us until 2 years.
But to be honest, I'm really, really skeptical on the whole Kenobi series.
Yeah.
Like, we already saw what they did to Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Leia. What the hell? And now the Emperor and Anakin. I feel like they're gonna butcher Kenobi's Obi's story arc.
But see, the thing is, his story arc was already completed.
Yes, it was completed
since episode 1. Exactly, and that was it. Anything he did before A New Hope and before A New Hope and right after Revenge of the Sith, it's right there in the Clone Wars. That it explains it. In a clear picture. He just after everything had happened, the whole Order 66 and all that, he just went away, because there was just nothing else to do.
Yeah.
He was on his own. He was you can say the last quote unquote of his kind, because there weren't anymore, all over. Eventually, Luke and Leia were the ones that were still there, but even they, weren't aware that they were part of a larger story.
Yeah, but, not even that, but like you said, his story has already been completed. Even like in the animated shows in Rebels.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We've already gotten a hint of what is to come, especially his story arc with him and Maul.
Yeah, it comes to an end right there. And that's just one strike, and that was it. And then I feel like with the Kenobi series, I don't know what else they can explain. I mean, he was a commanding general in the Clone Wars. He was an apprentice of Qui-Gon, of his master Qui-Gon Jinn. He took up Anakin to train him. He became a master. He became part of the Jedi Council. He fought in the Clone Wars, and that was it. And he was a leader. That's all he was, and a true master. And then that was it. What else could be taught? What else could be shown?
Yeah,
there's nothing else other than he went into isolation by himself, and that was it.
Not only that, but at the end of the day, we know what the end is going to be. He dies at the hands of Darth Vader.
Exactly.
So there's no
other way that you can change it.
Yeah, no, but there's no tension. Like if he gets into a situation where, like, oh my god, he's surrounded by a whole bunch of clone troopers or something, like, so what? We know he's not gonna die.
Next thing you know, they're gonna say, "Oh, this is the expanded universe. This isn't canon."
Oh god. No, but that knowing the end really does affect the current timeline story that you're trying to say, because if you know where his character arc is going to end, it takes away that tension. That's why the movie Solo didn't work for me.
Because we already know where he was going to be.
Yeah, we know that he becomes a general of the rebellion, and all those scenes of, oh my god, Chewie's going to get hurt. No, he's fine. My god, he's going to live for another 30 years.
Exactly. Hey, and we don't even see him die either. He just keeps on living. He's the only one out of everyone that has survived.
I know. Poor Chewie.
Pobrecito. And I think you mentioned it at when we left the theater that day. I think I agree with you. They gave him justice to give him space to mourn.
Yeah. Finally.
Yeah.
He didn't just walk away like he did in The Force Awakens.
He's like, and then he just.
Yeah.
Bye, nigga.
those two parts. I mean, it's the scene with Ben and Han, and then the scene where Chewie mourns for Leia. Those are the only two scenes where I got a tug in my heart.
Yeah, poor Chewie, man. You feel bad. You feel bad for him.
Yeah, because everyone that he's ever been with is dead.
And then the freaking droids are somewhere else, and they don't even notice.
Yeah, well, they're not real.
But still, oh man. And what did you think about C-3PO being what is it? Being crap. What's that word?
The mind wipe.
Being being hesitant as far as translation.
Well, that's just a plot. What do they call it? A plot device, something like that.
A plot filler.
Yeah, it's just
a plot.
Well,
just to delay the purpose of the whole film.
Yeah, and it's the Poe makes it obvious. Oh, the one time that we need you to talk, you're not gonna. So it's like very meta on its approach as well. Like, oh, wink, wink. Yes, we know it's because the plot says it needs to be this way, so just fucking deal with it.
So stupid. And what about the clarification of Finn saying that he was force sensitive?
There was no clarification. We just had to kind of have to guess. He's either going to be force sensitive or he's going to tell Rey that he loves her.
I thought he was going to say he loves her.
Really? Are you blind?
I thought he...
Did you not see all the clues? Even dude, I called it freaking back in April or May, whenever the teaser came out. Remember?
No, that I do know, and it makes perfect sense. But I mean, even when he says that, it's an instinct or feeling and everything like that. The Force brought us together and all that. It did give us clues, but I felt like, I mean, I think that's what they wanted us to think, that he was going to say "I love you."
Yeah. I don't know. That's not how I interpreted it. Like, once I put one and two together, I'm like, okay, this guy's force sensitive. Especially once Rey dies. She fake dies the first time, and he kind of feels it when he's in the Millennium Falcon with Janna and Chewie. I'm like, yep, this motherfucker is force sensitive.
Yeah, and it shows it right there. But it's too late already, man.
Yeah, that should have happened
too
in
late.
episode 8.
No, well, yeah, that should have. Yeah, you're right. That should have happened in episode 8, because then we would have known that he could have been another
potential ¿cómo se llama?
Jedi.
Yeah, another force sensitive being.
Yeah, exactly. And then the fact that they also put defective stormtroopers.
Yeah, what the hell? That means the First Order is like their training program is super messed up.
They suck. They're like AT&T.
Yeah, and then now, like how Tono was saying, does that mean that all the people that break free from their brainwashing, like, does that mean that all of them are also force sensitive?
It kills it completely. I mean, because I think I mentioned it last time where we were having this conversation. I thought that when The Force Awakens came out, I thought Finn was going to be
like a Jedi,
the force sensitive person that we were going to focus on.
Yeah, me too.
And then all of a sudden, oh hey, Rey,
Mare
Sue. All of a sudden, she came out, and then she was the one that was wielding the lightsaber, and she grabbed it with the Force, like that. Like, no. If anything, Finn could have been a more stronger character.
Yeah, and, that's his character. Hold on. His whole Finn's character, it was a complete waste in this trilogy. Like a complete waste.
It was thrown down the drain. There was nothing else that they could do. They had the opportunity in The Last Jedi. I'm gonna tell you that they had the opportunity there.
Yeah, but then
they fucked it up.
He just gets preached on by Rose Tico.
Kelly Marie Tran.
No, Kelly Marie Tran's cool. Rose Tico just sucks.
Yeah. Sorry, Kelly.
And then what do you think? Poe. All of a sudden, he's a spice runner. He's acting all shady now. That came out of nowhere.
A spice runner. It was stupid.
No, like all of a sudden he's hot wiring cars and he's doing all these other shady stuff. I'm like, this.
Oh yeah.
You see, those are little things that make it seem like it's two movies packed into one.
That's what I'm saying. It's stupid. I don't even know what else to say, man. All I know is that Poe is all of a sudden just a guy who can do anything instead of being the captain or general that he's supposed to be. But even then, he sucks as a freaking leader.
No, but you know what? I really liked him failing as a general, like really failing this time. Like his fellow men are being gunned down.
Actually, no, yeah, on that, I have to take that back. On that, I do agree with you. On The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, he's the one who wanted to completely, keep moving forward and having a triumph at every single battle that keeps on coming on. And then when he's placed into the command position, he's just like, ooh. he loses a lot of people.
Yeah, and especially that scene that he had with Leia when she's like borderline dead. He's like, I need your help. How do I do this? And then Billy D. Williams comes out. Like that was nice. Like that's what like all of episode 9 should have been. Having been set up with episode 7 and 8. And especially how he says, "Oh, how did you guys do this? You guys were so young and you guys defeated an empire. We didn't do it alone. We did it together." Like, yes, this was what should have been done like the whole time.
Yeah. Instead of separating each other,
and then Finn, Poe, and Rey had already met in The Force Awakens at the end, and all of a sudden Poe and Rey finally meet again in The Last Jedi. There's so many like little continuity things that are like, no.
Yeah. Just push them out the way.
And do you think Palpatine's return was justified?
Man, I have so many thoughts. I don't think it was. For him to randomly appear on the arm of a freaking crane, connected to all over the place, just wasn't enough for me.
No, I mean the explanation that they have, it's. I feel like it's not enough. All he says is, the dark side is a pathway, but to many abilities. Some consider to be unnatural. That's all he says. And then again at the end he says, "Oh, I've died before." Like, okay, what does that mean? How did you die? Don't worry, guys. There's another comic book and magazine coming your way to explain everything.
It's gonna be called Star Wars. Palpatine's what's it called? Avenging Palpatine. Whatever. I'm lost. Fuck it. I don't even know what to call it anymore. But yeah, I don't think there was enough information, and even if there was, it just didn't make any sense.
And like the whole thing with Snoke. Like, what the hell? Okay, yeah, so Snoke is just a puppet now.
You saw that they had clones, right?
Pickled Snoke.
It was so stupid. I was every voice you ever heard inside your head. Puss ass.
It was stupid. How does that even make sense now? Like, this whole time we were told, oh, Snoke has been around even before, the Empire, but he was just hanging around in the unknown regions, and now all of a sudden we just figure out that he's a clone. And why the hell would Palpatine make deformed clones?
Yeah, and
not fully functioning strong clones. Not only that, hear me out here. Now, if Snoke was just a puppet, does that mean that the Force can be cloned now?
With him giving the Force to some.
Yeah, well, so Papa Palpatine was giving the Force to Snoke, and then Snoke was doing that Force lightning that he did in The Last Jedi, but it was actually Palps. So is that the way the Force works now?
You can just transport it. It's so stupid. I thought the Force was supposed to be within you, and your surroundings and everything, and you can be able to use it that way by fully concentrating and delving within that state of mind. I guess not with the way that they explained it in friggin' The Rise of Skywalker. I mean, here, I'm gonna make a puppet. I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna put some of my stuff in him, so he can project it out there. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
And even if he was to do that, I mean, it seems pointless. Why not just have yourself there instead of friggin' Snoke? It's just, I'm puzzled.
And then, like, with Palps having all of his fleet underneath the planet, like, were they just living there the whole time?
Like, where do these people come from?
They're just living on the ground like a bunch of cavemen.
They're just waiting for the right time. All right, so when are we going to go to battle? Hey, Palps, can we get out? No,
my boy. That's probably my favorite line when he says that. My boy. It just sounds so cool.
His performance was good. I gotta tell you that though.
Yeah, I like Palpatine. Who doesn't like Palpatine? Yeah. He just did not belong in this trilogy.
Yeah.
He was never planned to return, man. He wasn't. But they're never gonna admit that. No, yeah. They're never gonna admit that that his return in Episode 9 it was never planned.
It just came on the spot.
This is what happens when creators don't have an actual plan in order for them to fill in the gaps and then make a coherent story.
Yep.
This was basically, okay, so we just want to do a soft reboot. JJ, go for it. Okay, it was a success, 2 billion. All right, cool. Now we're gonna get Rian Johnson. Ryan, do whatever you want, man. If you want to pick up the stuff, you can. Shit, The Last Jedi completely cut off a whole bunch of stuff. JJ, can you please come back and finish off the story that you started?
Okay, I'll write it throughout the.
I don't know.
It was told that he was writing it as they were shooting.
I know, dude.
Come on, that's not a good way to go, man. You know how many fuck ups that caused?
Well, you can tell. You could just tell that. You could just tell that they started that. They try to fit so much information, and at the end of the day, the movie is a bloated mess. Mm-hmm. It's such a bloated mess. Like you said, there's too much ground to cover and not enough time to cover that ground.
Exactly.
And now, I'm pretty sure all the supplementary material is going to have to explain all the stuff that was set up again. Mm-hmm. Which I'm not buying that crap.
Yeah.
And that's what I told you earlier. I'm kind of done with Star Wars right now. These whole 4 years have just been a effing headache, except for Rogue One. Rogue One, I like you.
Especially with Felicity.
Yeah,
Felicity Jones.
The Force Awakens and Rogue One, those were a good start.
Yeah, they kind of set
Solo
the tone.
And 9, oh my god.
Yeah, The Force Awakens, I feel it still has that beginner's touch of what a Star Wars movie could be.
I feel like the Force Awakens all the way until they get to the whole Starkiller base plan. Those whole 40 minutes, it's pure magic. I love the first half of the Force Awakens.
And you still get excited even if you watch it by yourself, You still get the chills. You're like, oh man, look at that.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, once it gets to Starkiller base, it's like, oh, all right, just let it go.
Yeah.
Let it play.
Oh, man. It's unfortunate where this trilogy ended up, but whatever. Now we have to wait 3 freaking years. 3 years to until another full-length movie.
Mm-hmm. That is, if they make one.
Yeah, they will. They'll make it.
But it's not going to be the same.
Hopefully it's not episode 10, 11, 12. Oh, God. That would be so horrible.
I've actually heard speculations of that.
Dude, that would suck balls.
That they're going to... I'm being serious. That someone... I think that... I was looking at it on Instagram, and they have leaks there, too. And one of them was directing episode 10.
Oh, my God. No.
And they lined up Jon Favreau with Rian Johnson, I guess, and then some other people. And I'm like, really? Really? Episode 10? There's just nothing else to do anymore.
There's nothing. They've killed it all.
Exactly.
They've butchered it. It's been butchered to the floor.
Just name it something else. Don't continue it off. Make your own damn trilogy. Give it a different name or something. The Ryan cut.
Oh God. They're either gonna have to go extremely, extremely back into the past or far off into the future.
where the Skywalkers are completely forgotten.
Yes, they need to get away from. I feel like they need to get away from the Jedi, the Sith, and the Skywalkers.
And the Empire.
Yeah, that's why. Jedi,
they need to get
Sith,
completely away from
Skywalkers. They need to start something new. Even if it's like, if it doesn't fully concentrate on the Force, or like kind of like how the Mandalorian, it has little bits and pieces of the Force sprinkled in there, but it's mostly about the Mandalorian. Mando. Yeah. The natural.
And that's what I like about the Mandalorian. It makes it. I'm gonna say it many times. It makes it clear that the Force and the Jedi and everything are complete legends.
Yes,
like they're forgotten religions,
and I like that. Even
it's a thing of the past.
Yeah,
and they're not touching it as much as or as frequent as the trilogies have done it.
Where, not only that, but the Empire was like successful in erasing everyone's memory of what the Jedi and the Force is. So not everyone's like, oh my god, we just have to pick up guns to fight these people.
And then the way I love how they did it in Chapter 8, how they said the Jedi were these sorcerers and stuff like that. They don't name them, masters of the Force. They just call them sorcerers, and they were the enemy and all that stuff. That's the stuff that makes you like.
Dude, I legit got chills right now because I thinking back on that part.
That part actually that part gave me chills when they said it and they explained it, and I'm like, I think this is what needed to be done to make the Force and the Jedi and the Sith make it look like it's history already.
Like some sort of urban legend.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, they didn't do that in The Force Awakens. They just said, I thought it was a myth.
Yeah.
It's all real. Yes, it's all real. All of it. Like, no. Make it seem like if it's ancient history.
Or forgotten history.
That's what I like. Or forgotten history, yeah. That's what I liked about The Mandalorian. And then when they brought up the black saber too, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, what? That's when I'm like, okay, now
getting it.
Yeah, now in my mind, I'm like, damn it! Now on top of Clone Wars, now I need to watch Rebels too.
Moff Gideon with the black saber because he's a black man.
Stupid.
I'm Moff Gideon. And I got a black saber.
It's right here.
Because I'm a black man. Exactly.
You think it's something else? But no, seriously. I'm a black saber, y'all.
12 inches, cuz.
Freaking boy. Bad man. So those were our thoughts on the Rise of Skywalker, man, and I guess the overall Disney trilogy. This ain't no damn sequel trilogy. This is Disney trilogy.
This is Disney trilogy, a standalone trilogy.
Yes.
Has nothing to do with 1 through 6.
Nothing. Oh, and Rogue One. Don't
Nothing
Rogue
at all.
One. I like Rogue One.
Oh yeah, Rogue One's pretty cool. You got to leave that one there. But 7, 8, 9, no, forget it. Complete shit.
They're standalone films.
Yeah, by themselves they're good. All together, no.
It's shite.
It's shite. After they had a shit. Disgusting.
Oh, man.
All right, well, I think hopefully everyone enjoyed our little rant and reviews on, and the spoiler alerts in case if anyone hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah, we'll put it on the title. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, if you guys didn't want to get spoiled, well, too late. Too late. You already did.
So we'll be back. We'll see you guys next time.
We'll see you guys next time here on The Five.
Oh, by the way, before we leave, this is our last episode of 2019.
Holy shit, you're right.
I completely forgot. So, to everyone
Holy
out
crap.
there, have a happy New Year. Not New Year's.
Happy New Year, y'all.
Have a happy New Year.
Freaking this new year.
Hopefully 2020 brings everyone's much blessings, much needed positive change.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We wish you guys all the best from anywhere you guys are hearing us, and we'll catch you next year.
I know. I hate when people say that. See you next year.
See you next year. Like, dude, nigga, it's fucking 3 days away.
6 hours away, dude.
Happy New Year. See you in 2020. Like, dude, that's like
tomorrow.
Wednesday. Technically, tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, everyone, hope your 2019 was good, and we'll see you soon.
Sounds good.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Well, that's a wrap for another episode on The Five. Don't forget to click and subscribe to our YouTube channel and ring that notification bell so you can be notified for any new content.